Want to know why? Ask how. Howard the Humongous. Why in the world would a couple in their late 20s with a 6-month-old baby go to a Christmas party and kill 14 of the partygoers and wound another 21 of the partygoers? This is what happened this week in San Bernardino, California. People keep saying, especially female reporters, how could a woman possibly leave a 6-month-old child behind? Well, she can leave a 6-month-old child behind if her arithmetic about life and death is very, very different from your arithmetic about life and death and my arithmetic about life and death. There's a theory called rational choice. And rational choice is the underlying model used in economics, political science, sociology, and in some cases in evolutionary biology. And it says that we all are here to maximize our profits. We're all here to maximize our payoff for everything that we do in life. But what if the really big payoffs are not here in life? What if, to use the words of a Quranic translation, a translation from the Quran, what if these are just transitory things? What if the really big payoff is in heaven and hell? What if this is a very, very, very short life, filled with trials and tribulations, but it is the entry point to the infinite life beyond, either an infinite life of pain or an infinite life of pleasure? In that case, leaving a 6-month baby behind while guaranteeing yourself a trip to paradise not only solves the problem of how best to maximize your potential for you, it actually solves the problem of how to maximize the potential life for the baby, because you are doing God's work. You are doing Allah's work. And surely Allah, if you have sacrificed yourself for Allah, Allah, who takes care of all things, will take care of your baby. The vision of heaven and hell in Islam for jihadists, for real believers, true believers, totally overwhelms the arithmetic of what's positive and negative on the face of this planet. Why? I mean, why in the world is hell such a compellingly appalling place to avoid? Well, here is a selection of lines from the Quran about what hell is like. It is a pain unlike any torture chamber the earth has ever seen. Those who reject our signs, says the Quran, we will soon cast into the fire as often as their skins are roasted through. We shall change them for fresh skins, that they may taste the penalty. Yes, all over again, to taste the flames. Says the Quran, the fire will burn their faces, and they will therein grin with their lips displaced. We shall gather them together prone on their faces, dumb and deaf and blind, and we shall drive the sinners to hell like thirsty cattle driven down to water. The unbelievers will be led to hell in crowds. Until they arrive there, its gates will be opened, and its keepers will say, did not apostles come to you from among yourselves, rehearsing to you the signs of your Lord and warning you of the meeting of this day of yours? Didn't people come to you preaching Islam, preaching Muhammad's own word, preaching the only truth God has ever given, the truth of the Quran? In other words, you got a chance. You got a chance to get yourself out of this eternal frying pan of a place, and you didn't take it. This is the hell, says the Quran, which the sinners deny. In its midst and in the midst of boiling water will they wander around. I will fill hell with jinns, with demons, and men altogether, an evil bed indeed to lie on. And the fire in hell is the fire whose fuel is men and stones. They will find, says the Quran, no way of escape. For them there is hell as a couch below, and folds a covering above. There are those who bury gold and silver, says the Quran. What happens to them? On the day when heat will be produced out of that wealth in the fire of hell, and with it, with the gold and silver, will be branded their foreheads, their flanks, and their backs. This is the treasure which ye buried for yourselves. Taste ye then the treasures ye buried. The word of the Lord shall be fulfilled, so enter the gates of hell to dwell therein. Thus evil indeed is the abode of the arrogant. We have made hell a prison for those who reject my faith. And if any do wish for the transitory things of this life, in the end we provided hell for them. They will burn therein, disgraced and rejected. Thou, O man, will sit in disgrace and destitution. Their abode will be hell. Every time it shows abatement, we shall increase for them the fierceness of the fire. And it goes on and on. Hell is not a place you'd want to visit for even a minute, much less for eternity. What is the alternative? The alternative is paradise. And paradise, your life, you never know until Judgment Day whether you're going to be consigned to hell or heaven, unless you die a martyr, unless you die killing the unbelievers. If you die a martyr killing the unbelievers, you get an express ticket to paradise. And what is that paradise like? These are more lines from the Quran. And those who feared their Lord will be led to the garden in gates, until behold they arrive there. Its gates will be opened, and its keepers will say, Peace be upon you. Well have ye done. Enter ye here to dwell therein. Paradise is gardens of eternity, beneath which flow rivers. Allah put the spirit of the martyrs of battle in the crops of green birds which go down to the rivers of paradise, eat its fruit, and nestle in the lamps of gold in the shade of the throne of Allah. Now we get to, the real innovation that Muhammad made in his picture of hell and heaven. That was putting pussy in paradise, putting sex in paradise. In paradise, there are thrones made of pearl, arranged for the martyrs and the maidens with big lustrous eyes, who will get down from their upstairs rooms, which are made of green emerald and red ruby. He has with him now his 2 wives from the dark-eyed Houris, the virgins of paradise, who are described as being restraining in their glances, with modest gazes, wide and beautiful lovely eyes like pearls, splendid and full-breasted, most refined, created by God in the best of form, virgin, loving, and well-matched, transparent in the marrow of their bones, eternally young, hairless except the eyebrows and the head, pure and beautiful. What gets you into heaven? What guarantees that you bypass hell entirely? What gets you that express ticket to the gardens flowing with underground rivers? Well, the answer is in something that people like the head of CARE, the Council of American Islamic Relations, have been telling you this week does not exist in the Quran. It's called the verse of the sword. Here it goes. I will instill terror into the hearts of the unbelievers, smite ye above their necks, in other words, decapitate them, and smite all their fingertips off of them, in other words, mutilate their bodies. And from another verse, slay the pagans, this is a verse from the Quran, slay the pagans wherever you find them and seize them, beleaguer them, and lie in wait for them in every stratagem of war. That's what gets you into paradise. Saeed Rizwan Farouk, you are being told, and his wife Tashfeen Malik were doing something violently un-Islamic, something you are being told that is a perversion of Islam. But these are all the lines on heaven, the lines on hell, and the line from the verse of the sword are all in Islam's holiest document, the Quran. Tashfeen and Saeed were doing exactly what the most pure form of Islam tells them to do, exactly as the folks in ISIS, sawing off people's heads, teaching 2-year-olds how to saw off people's heads, are doing exactly what Muhammad, with the lessons of his life, left behind him. Is there a good Islam? There sure as hell is. All of my friends in the Muslim community believe in it, and for them, Islam is a pluralist, tolerant, kind religion. But for those who really go back to the source documents, it's anything but. And guess who goes back to source documents? Not refugees like the Syrian refugees we're talking about right now. Not the refugees themselves. Their kids, because their kids, a certain percentage of them, will always seek their roots. And when they seek their roots, what will they find? Muhammad the Conqueror, to use the phrase from Osama bin Laden. Muhammad, who loved sawing off heads, who loved to have them sawed off in his presence. Muhammad, who conquered 317 square miles a day, according to the Universal Sunnah Foundation. Muhammad, who commanded 65 military campaigns, who personally led 27 of them, who was proud of, quote, annihilating entire tribes in order to cow people into giving up to him peacefully. That's the Muhammad, a small percentage of the children of the immigrants coming from the Muslim world will rediscover, and there will be hell to pay. This is Howard the Humongous, speaking to you from the future. It's your job and my job to make. Or, want to know why? Ask how. And now for that mysterious, sleazy, slimy, sneaky, hard to find little off button. I think I've got it.